Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to be diving right into this really fascinating intersection of global sports and digital creation. We've actually got a dual focus today. First, we're looking at the raw, frankly staggering facts behind the massive scale of the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup. And second, we'll see exactly how modern digital creators are taking those real-world facts and translating them into highly specific AI prompts to craft completely viral media. It's a really cool combo, so let's get into it.
I want to kick things off with the exact question posed by our source material. Did you know the 2026 World Cup will be the biggest in history? Now, I want you to really think about that word for a second. Biggest. You know, in the sports world, we throw around words like epic and historic all the time, usually just to build hype. But in this case, biggest isn't just a marketing buzzword. It's a structural, mathematical reality that's going to completely change the entire landscape of the tournament.
Okay, let's dive into this. For years, we've been totally accustomed to a 32-team format as the standard, right? But in 2026, we are jumping up to 48 teams competing for the very first time. That is a massive 50% increase in the number of nations stepping onto the global stage. Think about that. We aren't just tossing in a couple of wildcards here, we are fundamentally widening the global footprint of the entire competition.
So, what does this massive team expansion actually translate to when the whistle blows on the pitch? Our source breaks it down perfectly into 3 direct results: more matches, more goals, and more excitement. Because you have 48 teams, the schedule naturally balloons, which means we, the fans, get way more games to watch. And hey, more games statistically guarantee more opportunities for goals. When you compound the extra matches with the extra goals, plus those brand new nations competing for the very first time, the excitement factor just absolutely skyrockets. The whole structure of the tournament is literally engineered to deliver a larger-than-life experience.
Moving on to Part 1, the 3 host nations and contenders.
The dynamic of the 2026 tournament is brilliant. You have this North American trio, the United States, Canada, and Mexico, acting as the host nations. They're providing the immense physical stage and the infrastructure. And then stepping onto that turf are our contending nations, with historic heavyweights like Argentina, France, Brazil, and England. It's a massive, unified stage built specifically for the absolute titans of global football.
Which brings us to the core dramatic stakes of the whole thing. Will Argentina win again, or France? We've got those established champions for sure, but remember that huge expansion to 48 teams we just talked about? That opens the door to a really thrilling unknown. Will a brand new team shock the world? I mean, this is exactly why we watch sports, isn't it? We have the data, we know the contenders, but the actual outcome remains a total mystery.
All right, let's shift gears to Part 2, crafting a viral vision.
Now, how do creators actually visualize this? It all starts with a very clear, declarative command: create a cinematic viral YouTube Shorts video about FIFA World Cup 2026. Every single word here is totally intentional. The creator isn't just asking an AI for a random video. They're programming it with an exact goal. It needs to be cinematic for that high production value and viral for maximum audience engagement. This is literally the foundational blueprint for everything that follows.
From there, the prompt stacks some really specific visual instructions to hit that cinematic and viral goal. It requests packed stadiums and cheering crowds to instantly establish scale and energy. Then it pairs that with realistic 4K quality and dramatic lighting, making the output feel incredibly rich and immersive. And finally, it asks for subtitles on screen. That's a brilliant, highly practical detail that ensures the content is engaging even for viewers who are just scrolling on their phones on mute. It's honestly a masterclass in highly structured visual design.
But here's the thing. Beautiful visuals aren't enough on their own. You need pacing. The creator demands intense football matches paired with fast transitions to mimic the high-speed reality of the sport. But then, they intentionally contrast all that speed with slow-motion celebrations. Just think about how effective that is. You get rapid, chaotic action followed instantly by a slow, emotional climax. The prompt is actively engineering a psychological rhythm to keep you completely hooked from one second to the next.
And to tie all of those dynamic visuals and fast-paced edits together, the prompt calls for one final, crucial sensory detail: epic sports music. You can almost hear it, right? By adding an audio layer described specifically as epic, the creator ensures that the excitement, the sheer scale of those 48 teams, and the drama of the hosts and contending nations are felt just as much as they're seen. It completely elevates the raw data into pure, undeniable hype. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly powerful image requested by the prompt: the FIFA World Cup trophy, shining under stadium lights. It is the perfect culmination of everything we've looked at today, from that expanded 48-team roster to the dramatic, cinematic lighting of a viral video. We've explored the facts, and we've decoded the digital vision. Now, the source text leaves the ball in your court. Looking at that shining trophy and knowing the titans of the sport are about to step onto this massive stage across the US, Canada, and Mexico, who do you think will win the 2026 World Cup? Let me know your thoughts, and keep exploring these